Greetings, gamer guys and gals. I'm Zeake, welcoming you back to my Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. We're on part number 28 in the Palmeni Temple, taking on Schaefer and his gang of motley crew, and all the while being silenced and no longer can use our healer. You know, we didn't even field Soren, which is really kind of funny. It really is. This whole scenario has just been hilarity after hilarity. Let's go ahead and trade the silver bow off of you. We'll give that to our Shinon and smite you. Okie dokie. Yeah, we don't want to attack the priest. We want the chest. Move him out. And we got something to sell. Nosferatu. Always a good item to have. For selling, that is. Okay. Let's see. What do we want to do here? I think that's all we can really do for this. No, there is one thing we could do. We could go ahead and take a men's staff. Won't need it at this current time, but why not? Also give, 10 EXP to Racing. Never gonna hurt. Stay there. Okay, and that's all. That's all she wrote. At least for the time being. Sniper with a Legu's bow. Very decent damage. Not decent enough. Yep, we got some reinforcements down there. And finally, Tyronio gets healed of his poison. Probably the most pointless status condition in Fire Emblem. Alright. Are we going to bank on a crit? Is that what we're doing? We're banking on a crit here. Okay. Appreciated. Very nice. Very nice, Shinon. Really didn't matter if he got that crit there, if we were being honest. Okay. Smite you. And smite you. Put you there. Let's steal that physic. Always so lovely to get an EXP up, well, get a level off of a, get the EXP enough for a level off of stealing something. Goodness. Alright, rescue you. Take and drop. See, Miss still has some utility while she's doing next to nothing. Yep, and we can go ahead and leave Tyronio there. We will be getting that killer bow. And Mia takes this guy out. Good old one round. Doesn't even need to use her forged, aptly named silver sword. Alright. I really love that we're able to rain down this tyranny. Another crit. Very nice. That 3 crit is showing its worth. It really is. We probably should have gave it 9 crit, just to be a little bit overkill. But I don't really care for, again, like banking on crits. Unless you have a character with built-in crit, like Berserkers or Swordsmasters with like crit weapons, it's not really something worth, quote-unquote, banking on. And all we have is Ike. So we're done with that. Now here's a familiar face. It's one of Dayan's old generals. Look, I'm a coward, and you're a traitor. Let's be friends, what do you say? I did not know he had a conversation with Tironio, and Tironio says absolutely nothing. Wants nothing to do with his stupidity. I was not expecting him to double, but then again, yeah, he does have 18 speed. Oh, now Tironio is all buffed up. Yep. That killer axe is mine, and that killer bow is about to be mine. Huh. I don't think there's any way. Well, there's actually a way we could do this next turn, so we'll go ahead. Yeah, so we'll be able to finish this on turn 8, which is pretty cool. And then we can go ahead and yeah, I believe, yeah, he has a mend. So what we can do, the priests do not move. So if you just get him out of the way, he won't heal Schaefer, which is really funny. Because they won't move, they won't heal him. We could technically, I mean, since we're going to be waiting another turn, we could go ahead and steal that mend staff. Only problem is we would have to get, yeah, we'd have to get the weapon off of, one of the items off of him, so we'll go ahead and do that as well. As best as we can, making good use of our resources. That's basically what we're doing here. Alright, so I believe next turn is when we get the next batch of reinforcements. Luckily for us, we don't really have to worry about that, do we? Yep. Chest. And we get a tomahawk. Very nice. And a Begnion. Also very nice. That's a great sellable. That's how we're going to look at it. Alright, so what we can do, go here, trade enchant, and she's still silenced. Don't need the mend, but hey, why not have it? Ooh. Well, we could... Let's see what Boyd's hit on him is. Well, you know, Tironio could do with the EXP here. It might actually give him a level. That would be nice. Should have brought more priests. Or some babies. Dang. What a pathetic man you are. Gotta hide behind human shields. Ah, yeah, and Tironio does get a level from that. That's nice. Very appreciated. Level 15, and he gets a whopping 1 stat. HP. Thank you very much. I never imagined that we would be rescued by soldiers of an enemy nation. There was no way we'd cut down innocent priests being forced to fight against their wills. Father, we bear no ill will toward the kingdom of Dayan itself. We wish only to reclaim the homeland which was unjustly taken from us. That is the reason we fight. We had no desire to invade this land. If nothing else, please believe that. I beg your pardon. May I have the favor of your name? Alencia Rydell Crimea. I'm the sole survivor of the Crimean royal family. Oh, you! Let us give thanks that you are alive and well. And please, I beg your understanding as well. There are many Daeans who do not support the king's actions. I understand. My young general, this is for you. Huh? As thanks for saving our lives. You got the Ashira staff. The S-rank staff in this game, and buddy, is it worth using. There are very, very few S-ranks you actually get in this game. I believe you get the S-rank sword, the S-rank bow, the S-rank thunder tome. I think those are the only S-ranks you get in this game at all, which is really a kind of a shame. And you do get this S-rank staff, and it's a staff that restores all HP to all allied units, as well as restoring their condition to normal, and its range is total. Everything on the map. I do believe this even heals the unit who uses it, unlike Fortify, which is very cool. But don't quote me on that, because I'm not... It's been a while, and usually healers don't exactly get damaged if you're doing, right strategies and you're paying close attention. But I'm very glad we have this staff. It is by far good enough reason for you to not kill any of the priests on this map. Now it's time to search this place. My Lord Ike, may I join you? Sure, why not? Everyone's lending a... Ike, where are you? Mist, I'm over here. Ike, this way, quickly! Rayson's in trouble. What? Rayson, what is it? He's been like this from the moment he set foot in this room. He's just staring at the walls. That's a whole lot of graffiti. What is all this? Every wall has the same pattern on it. It's not a pattern, it's an ancient language. All chants and spells and magic scrolls are written thusly. Can you read it, Soren? Some, but not all. Spells are simple, whereas this is a complex narrative. I think Prince Rayson could read it. I bet this is the same language that Leanne was speaking. It is. It's the Serenes language. Their chants are all in this language, too. So Rayson is reading what's written on the walls? It appears that way. Shall we leave him be? There's a lot of writing here. This could take hours. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, I certainly don't understand that language, so I'm going to need some translation as well. Ike? What is it? From what I could gather, I think a person was locked in this room sometime in the past. You don't know who it was, do you? I wasn't able to read enough of the writing, but I found this under the bed. Is this? I think it may have belonged to whoever was imprisoned in this room. I apologize. I took up much of your time. Rayson, you don't look so good. Why don't you rest for a bit? No, I'm fine. It's more important that we talk. About the owner of this feather? Was it in that room? Soren found it. Whose was it? Lilia, my older sister. The writing on the walls is hers. You have an older sister, too? Will you tell us about it? She was kidnapped 20 years ago on the night of the Serenes massacre. I thought that Lilia had been murdered, but with my other brothers and sisters, I believed that until today. Who took her? The walls say only that he was a large human. She probably never knew who it was. He thrust a clan treasure at her and demanded that she use her magic to revive the thing sealed inside it. He exhorted her again and again, but to no avail. Lilia refused his request every time, because she did not possess that power. Someone wanted to revive the Dark God. Shortly after she was brought here, Lilia fell ill and collapsed. That name is really odd to say, Lilia. I'm not surprised. It was a terrible time. She was imprisoned in that tiny room with no view of earth or sky. Oh, that's awful. Mist. I'm sorry, I just feel So sad for Lilia. And for Rayson, too. I beg your pardon, let me continue. A young Bjork began coming to the room to care for Lilia. She had bluish hair and blue eyes, and her heart was unusually pure for a Bjork, and in time, Lilia and she came to be friends, and shared a mutual trust. Ah! Lilia decided to entrust her hopes to that woman. They shared no common language, so it took some time. But eventually the Bjork woman understood what it was Lilia wanted, which was to take the treasure in song and flee this temple. But, brother? Was there anything else written about this Bjork woman, a name perhaps? Translated into our language, it was probably Elena. I knew it! Mother! It was our mother! What? Are you sure? Our mother's name was Elena. Like me, her hair was blue, as were her eyes. Rayson, the object you refer to as your clan treasure was an aged bronze medallion, wasn't it? How did you know that? The medallion became my mother's keepsake, the song too. My parents both gave their lives to protect it. Ike, you and Mist are Elena's children? Then Leiron's medallion is here. The medallion was stolen, probably by Dayan. It can't. This is unbelievable. Can a thing like this be chance? No. See, for me, even though I'm not in the story, if I were in the story, my thoughts would be there's no such thing as coincidence. Never has been and never will be. To be honest, I don't fully understand all that's happened, but it all makes sense. It all comes together. Ah. Mist? That's the song that... But the melody's a little different, isn't it? It's similar to the song Rayson and Leanne sang in the forest. My mother used to sing it as a lullaby. It is the song of release. The one Lilia entrusted to Elena. But I wore the medallion and sang that song almost every single night, and nothing ever happened. The magical effect of the song is awakened by the power of the singer. It can't be unleashed by just anyone. The true song of release can only be sung by a girl named Altina. That's a very interesting thought here, because Altina is long gone. Like, very long gone. We're talking many hundreds of years removed. So I wonder if there is any other way, or if this was like a plot hole or an issue that they came across in the writing of the story and they didn't really rectify this. I don't even think it's brought up in Radiant Dawn that there is other people who can sing it. Maybe the descendants of Altina. I believe that's what they say is the descendants of Altina. Altina being the first empress and apostle of Begnion. So it would make sense that the apostle down the line would be able to. Interestingly enough. There's actually a lot of really hidden informations and things that you can learn about the backstory and things like that. If you really dig deep in both this game and the supports of this game and then Radiant Dawn as well, you can see a lot of things unfolding about what they were trying to do with the story overarching for both games. My only problem with Radiant Dawn and Path of Radiance, story and plot-wise, is that they went too large and they took the story in such a way that it kind of almost didn't need to go. And it became too much of an epic rather than just, trying to tell a culminative story. It's actually one of the reasons why I'm a bigger fan of the drug draw games than just about any other games in Fire Emblem concerning the story, because the drug draw games are still grounded. They still have a believable and reasonable story in both Thracia and Genealogy. But, I'm not putting down Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn, because I love the Tellius games. I love their story. It's interesting. I love the epicness. And it's better that the games don't all follow the same tropes and all the same concepts. With that being said, though, there is still a trope in this game and in Radiant Dawn that we would see if we were to play both of them, and a lot of people know this trope. having to deal with, you know, like the whole like Garneth and trying to amass a dark evil and from the other games in Fire Emblem. So there's that. There are some understandings behind that. But either way, I do really appreciate what they're trying to do here with the way that they're giving this backstory, how everything just comes together. Elena was Ike's mother, and Gawain was Ike's father, and we come to find out that both of them were Dayan born. So even though Ike and Mist are Crimeans, they're actually Dayans. You know, natively through their parents. They're not, you know, they're not Dayans by birth or by even citizenship. Lilia wanted your mother to take the melody to Altina and return the medallion to its rightful place in Serenes Forest. The story is becoming clearer and clearer. My father fled Dayan to protect my mother, who was carrying the amulet. Ike, how did you know? Volk told me. He told me about my father's past, and the amulet, and the Dark God, too. So you know everything? King Ashnard took Lilia, didn't he? That would be the final piece of the puzzle. After all, the man who found my father was the king's henchman. Ike, are you saying you know who killed Commander Grail? You never said anything about that. We all thought his murder was unknown. Why didn't you say anything? I don't know. I never felt like talking about it. He was a Dayan soldier, wasn't he? Who was it? Who was the man who killed Commander Grail? Ike, tell me. Can we discuss this later? Oh, yes, of course. Up to this point, we've all been fighting for the liberation of Crimea. Even if we now add to that stopping the Dark God from being released and punishing Commander Grail's killer. Our enemy remains unchanged. King Dayan and his henchmen are the ones we must defeat. It's mysterious, isn't it? I mean, Rayson said the same thing earlier, but could all of this really be mere coincidence? Of course not. The fall of Crimea, Ike's parents, the death of Rayson's sister, the fact that everything leads back to Dayan. If true, it changes the meaning behind this war. The treatment of Lilia is one thing, but the assassination of the former apostle, the framing and destruction of my nation. If it was all part of Dayan's plan to steal the medallion and the song, then the reason I fight. We also learned something interesting about the whole assassination plot with the Serenes forest and the burning and the massacre and everything like that, that it wasn't just the thoughts of one man. Let's just put it that way. So we got turns to clear, pretty good. I think you just had to get it under 10 turns to clear. We far surpassed that, you know, clear bonus. Pretty decent amount of bonus EXP, and it's going to go to great use. Eventually, down the line, we are going to use at least one unit who's going to take full advantage of the bonus EXP we have amassed. One of my favorite things about the bonus EXP is that you can basically turn any unit in this game into a monster. I don't particularly like doing that. I just like patching up the weak units, or especially late game. There are quite a few units late game who join that really need some help if you want to use them viably, especially on the higher difficulty modes. Alrighty, that was part 28, chapter 22, solo. If you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below. Tell me what you think of the run through and playthrough this far. And I'll see you next time.